Good morning, I'm Madeline James, and welcome to another writing vlog. Today is Saturday. Today is my off day, right? My get to do what I want day. So I have a lovely cup of coffee, I have my Wii, and I want to give you a quick update, but then I'm going to get started. I'm hoping to get a lot done today. I really want to do like little tasks interspersed with rewriting chapters. So I rewrite a chapter, and then I want to film a quick video. I want to rewrite a chapter and then maybe edit a video. I don't know if I'll get much more done than that, but then if I do, I can, rewrite another chapter. Maybe, I don't know what I'll do after that, but that's kind of what I'm hoping to do to split it up. Last time we did this, I did world building all morning, but I just posted my first world building video and I still have to edit the second one. And I want to intersperse those a lot. Like, those videos take a really long time to film and edit, so they're not going to be coming out every week. There's just a lot, but I had a lot of fun with that. But okay, update time. So, it's been a really long week. I know I've talked about some of the health problems I've been having and some like neurological issues I've been having and hoping to get diagnosed and waiting to see a neurologist and all that. And I finally saw a neurologist on Thursday. Hi, so it is mid-August. I am obviously in the car. I'm in between doctor's appointments right now and I didn't want to go home. And I finally got an initial diagnosis today. I don't know, you guys. It's a hard thing. It sucks. It's not, something you want, but I like having clarity. I like this diagnosis compared to what some of the alternatives were. So I'm doing good. I think everyone has things that make writing more difficult, like having young kids makes writing more difficult, having, migraines makes writing more difficult, having certain types of jobs, like certain stress levels, having anxiety, like there's just so many things that people experience that make writing more difficult that while having a chronic illness it doesn't even necessarily make it even harder, it's just my brand of hard, right? Yeah. And I'm not going to talk in too much detail about what the doctor said yet. I got a diagnosis, but it's technically like an initial diagnosis because they have a lot of tests they can do to confirm. So I'm going in and I'll be doing a lot of tests. I have one test 2 weeks from Thursday, and then the following Monday I have to get 4 MRIs done. It's going to be a whole thing. Luckily I'm not claustrophobic. And then I'll have to do some other tests. I'll have to do a spinal tap. I have to do some blood work, and we'll see. And then I can talk to them about treatment and the specifics of, the disease that I seem to have. And at that point, I'll probably talk about it. I'm just happy to actually be getting feedback, but it's really nice. And my mom got me flowers, which was really nice. I'm happy about that. So I'm not doing anything crazy right now. I'm just gonna wait to get all the tests done and then I'll talk about it, because dealing with chronic illness and stuff like that, it's something that impacts your writing and can make things more difficult. And if I'm sharing my journey, that's part of my journey, and I want to be open about it. I don't want to hide it. Everyone's struggling with their own things, whether or not that's a difficult schedule, anxiety, sleep problems, so many other chronic illnesses, ADHD. There's so much stuff that people are struggling with, and sometimes it doesn't matter what specifically you're struggling with. It's just helpful to see that people can push through it, and I think it's important to talk about and normalize, so that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to get into writing. I'm going to write a chapter, and then go from there. So let's get writing. Okay, so I'm still working on my chapter, but I just wanted to maybe point out how I sort of do this rewriting, or I guess it's very similar to drafting because my rewrite is just making a bunch of new scenes. So when I did my outline, which if you saw that video, I can link it, but I have basically scene cards like this, which are similar to the Story Genius ones. I have my POV, the beat if it's a beat, the POV's main purpose, subplot purposes, and then I have setup, crossroad, cause, consequences, And so, realization, why it matters, like I have all that on each side, so that it's sort of like a timeline. And I didn't do this right when I did it before, not entirely. In the setup, I almost always, my setup is another scene. Because I was like, oh, well, if this thing is going to happen, something needs to be happening when this thing happens. So all of these are basically 2 scenes, which is fine because they're relatively short scenes and I'm putting them in 1 chapter each. So like each chapter is roughly 2 small scenes, which it's fine, it works, but I didn't map it out properly for that. But basically what I do once I turn to whatever new scene chapter I'm working on, I look at what I have in here, and then I move everything into my document in brackets. So I'll be like, okay, I want this to happen, and then this to happen, and then this to happen, and sometimes I'll break it up more and outline it a little bit deeper, like, okay, I want this to happen, maybe I want this bit of dialogue, just giving myself a roadmap, because I have trouble writing if I don't have it all figured out already. I, like, looking in front of a blank chapter and just having, like, I want this vague thing to happen, I'm like, oh, there's too many options. So it helps me to kind of figure this out at the beginning. So I have right now, let's see, you can see it. These are all just little bracket chunks, and this is a scene from her previous chapter, which is sort of where her realization is coming from, so I want to be able to reference it, so I just copied it into here so that I can reference it while I'm writing this, and that's sort of how I set myself up to write these chapters. But yeah, I'm gonna actually keep writing now. Okay, I'm finished 1 chapter, chapter 32, but then I realized I hadn't actually quite finished the end of chapter 31, so I'm finishing that up real quick before I move on to something else. But I heard a lot of screaming downstairs, so I ran downstairs for a minute to help out, and I was holding my daughter, and she was just like there going, Nana, Nana. And it took a minute to figure out she wanted a banana, which should have been obvious, and she scarfed down the entire thing. She's so tiny and she just eats like a crazy person, but she's so cute. Just wanted to share that, but I'm going to finish this other chapter, and then I will be 2 chapters finished for this morning so far, which will be awesome. And then I can move on to finishing the video I started last night. Okay, I just finished the other chapter, so I'm now 2 chapters finished, 1.5 that I actually did this morning. It is 12 o'clock, I'm gonna go downstairs and have lunch and then come back up, and I'm probably only gonna have time to maybe do a little bit of filming and editing, but I did 2 chapters, so I'm happy with that. Ooh, I want to tell you something, but I'm gonna go have lunch first. Okay, I'll be back, and then I'll be back. Hello, it is now Tuesday, no longer Saturday. I did end up coming back upstairs and getting the rest of the filming I wanted to get done, and I've been slowly working on some of that editing, and I've done some prepping for my next scene. I've sort of realized that at the beginning of my sessions, if I just spend it kind of mapping out the mechanics of the scene, that's something I can do downstairs. So I did that in advance, so I'm ready to start the next scene, or the next chapter. But I'd wanted to tell you about what I did Friday night, which is I got together with all of my critique partners, and we actually went through and sort of workshopped like pitches, like the elevator pitch for our books. And we did this in rounds, so we would do, I think we started with 2 minutes. Yeah, we did 2 minutes, and you would come up with a pitch in that 2 minutes, and then we'd be like, okay, we're all done, move on to the next one. And we all came up with 5, and then we shared them with each other and gave feedback on what we thought was good, what the best aspects were, and kind of came up with like the best pitches. And we did 2 sets of this. The first one I did for my, Blood Magic project, and the second one I did for the book I'm going to start drafting in probably September. And I'm so happy I did that. I'm really excited. It was so useful. I feel like I learned so much, and I'm getting such a better idea slowly over time of what kind of these core parts of the story are, and I like the idea of keeping that in mind when you get stuck and when you're drafting, just remembering like this is the point of what I'm doing, like at its root. and kind of staying focused, staying on topic, whatever. But yeah, so that's good. It is, let's see. It's 7:30. I'm hoping to do a bit more editing for my video that needs to come out on Thursday. And then I want to do some writing, and honestly, I'm feeling good, and I'm excited, and it's going well, and yeah. So, let's get into it. Imprints can bid separately for books, so the really cool to hear how that works. Okay, so I just finished editing this video. It is exporting right now. It is ridiculously long, and it's only part 1. I filmed part 1 and part 2 in almost one setting, and it's mostly just going through like the antitrust trials, pre-trial briefs, and then the second one is going through a couple of people who followed it on Twitter and just kind of sharing like interesting things for aspiring authors. And the first one is like 30 minutes. It's ridiculous, but this is encoding right now, and then I'm going to get that scheduled, and then I am starting some writing sprints with my critique group. So that'll be fun. It is Wednesday. I did end up doing some writing last night. I got to, I think, like almost 800 words in chapter 33, so I'm probably halfway through. So I think I'm going to finish that up tonight, and then I'm going to do a little bit of video editing, but I'm going to call the vlog here. I'm going to the mountains with some of my friends this weekend, so I'm excited to do that. We're going to take the kids to a water park, which will be a lot of fun, but I don't know. I will probably do a bigger update on how I've been doing progress-wise on the rewrite and what kind of my stats look like, but I don't know. Just for tonight, I'm gonna do what I can do. I will see you next time.